This past summer, me, myself, and two friends of mine took a trip out to New Mexico to get away from Indy and relax a little. And we're not planning that a thing could go wrong. And my uncle, who lived about half an hour away, calls me and he wanted me to come play for his hockey team. And I had never played hockey, so I told him, yeah, I'd be down for it and it'd definitely be a good experience. And they just needed a sub who could stay out of the way and give the players a break when they needed to. So I'm sitting there in the locker room putting on this gear that I've never worn in my life. And when the game started, I was sitting on the bench where I was most of the game, and I see this Mexican who kept consistently trying to egg on my uncle. And I guess my uncle had enough of him when he slammed him into the wall and got sent to the box. And then monkey see, monkey do, I had to go in, so I decided to do the exact same thing. And I got sent to the box for about a minute, and I personally hated the guy, so I just wanted to take him out of the game. And when they sent me to the box, nobody really thought of it like as a personal thing until I had to go in the next period too. And me being myself, I kept talking smack to him just to get in his head and kind of make him mad. And then it happened, I checked him again into the wall, and right after that, I'm face first in the ice with him after his teammate came up behind me and slammed me to the ground. And then we all three got thrown out. And while I'm sitting in the locker room, I'm thinking actions definitely speak louder than words.
Vanessa, that was the name of the cat that I was going to see that night. But little did I know, when I was at the Hamilton County Humane Society, I would end up with not only a different cat, but a lesson I've lived by ever since. Once there, me, at age 3, reaches down to the bottom rung of the cage of the black and white cat I thought was going to be mine. The next thing I know, scratches are all around my face. Once the attendant and the first aid kit patched me up, the manager came in to apologize. Of course I was crying, but she told me to pick any cat, sit down in the rocking chair in the corner, and they'd bring it to me. I turned from my spot on the counter, and that's when I saw her. A beautiful, silver gray, young tabby named Tinsel. I nearly ran to the rocking chair in the corner. About 30 seconds later, she was on my lap, next thing on my shoulders, crawling all around me, having fun like she was at home. I didn't want to look at any other cat. I wasn't going to leave that rocking chair without the promise of making me Tinsel's new home. My mother saw that and asked the manager what the price would be. And that's when the manager said, no charge. And I took Tinsel home that night, and I still have her even today. Tinsel is my tangible example of the best things in life are free.
Okay, think to yourself, I say twins and you picture what? Most of you probably think of the Mary-Kate and Ashley twinship. Two girls or boys, identical, wearing the same clothes and finishing each other's sentences. I'm a twin and that's what I think, but that's not always what I wanted. In middle school, I went through a phase where everything that had to do with Abby and I was just annoying. We were often considered a unit, like the Lipitzes, or we were always called the twins. And I felt like nobody actually considered my personality, likes and dislikes individually. My dad would always confuse Abby and I would just storm off to my room yelling at him like, it's been 17 years, how come you can't get us right? Friends were also a hard thing to control because one of us would get closer to a friend, but they always felt obligated to invite both of us. And sometimes two was just one too many. We would go in public and we'd see people's eyes just like going back and forth. Like, seriously. So I'd say in my annoyed tone, I'd just be like, yes, we're twins. Stop staring. Just to prove like I'd had enough of this whole twin idea. Questions bothered me too, and I don't know why, but the most annoying question that I could have ever been asked was, do you like being twins? That's like me asking all you guys if you like being individuals. You don't really know any better. The thing that got to me the most was when somebody would say, "I like you more than your twin." Well, I feel like that should be a compliment, but it was just awkward. Like, she's still my sister. And so I think that's what honestly made me realize that not everyone gets someone so close in age to talk to and try on your clothes for you and finish your sentences. So because of that, I now think that maybe more is married.
There are many things easier said than done. Moving is one of them. 2 years ago, I moved back to Indiana after living in Pennsylvania for 8 years. When I first figured out that I was moving, I didn't want to leave at all. I had great friends, a decent school, and a really great church. But as time went on, I got more excited. Driving away from our house was strange. I didn't know when I would see it again. The first few weeks after we got to Indiana were an adventure. I didn't really know how much really went into moving. It was new everything. New city, new school, new friends, new church, new everything. And not just everything was new, there was also logistics, like packing up our house, finding a new house, moving from our apartment to a house. And I don't think people realize how hard it is to move. But it's definitely easier said than done.